Fernando Carmona and Brad Spencer. Trey, all you.
Yeah, Fernando, I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about this Texas defense. Obviously, they do a really good job at stopping the pass. A pretty good run stopping team too.
Yeah, they do everything kind of well. Uh, they're solid. They do their job very well, and I think just kind of what makes them good is that all of them do their job and they let each other, play off of each other. Nobody's trying to be a superstar. They know their job, they do it well, and they let others kind of play off of them, and that's just what makes them good. And all 11 of them are on the same page.
Is there anything? I mean, like some of like the pass efficiency defense is like historically good, like 89. Is there something else that they do that maybe is different than just regular good defenses? I mean, because those are some pretty ridiculous numbers.
Yeah, I don't really know too much that goes on in the secondary. That's kind of not my role, but
Yeah, but pressures and stuff getting to the
yeah,
quarterback.
yeah, on the defensive line, they have a lot of different looks. And like I said, they all know their gaps that they're supposed to be in. Hardly ever will you ever see them miss or like gap in the wrong gaps. And so I think that's what makes them good is that they're on the point, they're coached well, and they play hard.
Yeah, Brad, I was wondering the group behind you in the secondary. You've obviously watched those guys, and Coach Pittman kind of said it was kind of like open competition in the secondary. How have those guys responded after just really struggling so much against Ole Miss, and I guess trying to do a better job keeping things in front of them?
Over the week, them guys they've been pretty sound technical on their technique lately on the week. So they've been being coached up all week. They know they wrong, so they looking for some spaces to fix up. Going into this week, they're getting the mind right. Respond. Coach always talk about respond, so it's up to the secondary to respond this week.
Some of the quarterbacks that you guys have faced who are, a little more experienced have given you guys some troubles. Is that something you guys talk about at all, or is it known that like, Nussmeier and Dart, some of those guys had a lot more experience, and then you got yours coming up who also has a lot of experience?
Yeah, we ran across some pretty good quarterbacks as the season went on. Quinn Ayers, he's one of those guys who's probably pretty good as the guys you just named. So we just got a game plan around his gameplay and play football.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
So,
Hey, Coach Pittman said Monday he's been showing y'all, video and talking about the series. What has soaked in for you guys, Brad, in terms of what this means to the fans, probably?
I know it's a pretty serious thing in Arkansas, and I want to keep this tradition up. Going into this week, I want to make these Arkansas fans happy.
Fernando, any thoughts about just maybe the stature of this rivalry?
Yeah, man. There's been a lot of teams that have played Texas, and a lot of people that have put their life on the line. Played their hearts out for Arkansas, and we just want to carry on this legacy of this rivalry, and keeping showing why Arkansas leads this rivalry, and why this means so much to us.
Coach Pittman's teams have really played well out off of open dates before, but this year not so much against LSU. Did anything change the way you guys prepped after this open date, Fernando?
No, man, we practiced harder. I think, we were disappointed in the LSU loss, but our preparation was about the same. I think, there was a little bit more attention to detail, and we know that we had a really good opponent coming. We had a really good opponent in LSU, and we have even a better opponent in Texas. And so we're really just locked into the details and just kind of getting better each and every day.
Brad, any thoughts about wanting to come out hotter from this particular open date?
Really just start off fast. That's something we have been, well, from last game, that's something we didn't do. So from this game, we preparing to start fast and finish strong.
And what do you think about their running game? I think they have three really good backs, and they seem to be fast.
Everybody got some pretty good backs. Actually, I played with the guy Jaden Blue in high school, so I'm pretty familiar with his game. So other than that, they got some pretty good backs on their end.
What can you say about Jaden?
He's probably quick. He's a quick guy. He give you two moves and he get up vertical. So he's more of a receiving type back than me. He doesn't really I don't see him really run threat. But open space, he's a threat.
All right. Hey, thanks, guys.
Hale.
Yeah, hi guys. I guess Fernando, talking to Sam this week, he said the talent level on up front between Ole Miss and Texas is probably similar. I guess, is there anything that you guys can take from maybe that Ole Miss game and kind of apply it maybe to the Texas game?
Yeah, we just got to play better on the O-line. Obviously, we didn't have our best performance on that Ole Miss game, and like you said, the talent level is about the same. So it's just about looking at our past film and how are we going to correct it this week, and how are we going to get better this week. And I think the way we've been preparing right now, it's been leading up to a point where we're going to have a great Saturday.
And then Brad, I guess right after the Ole Miss game, Sam talked about maybe needing to disguise coverages a little bit better. I guess having been through the open week and looking at everything, is there anything else the units picked up on and in that regard?
Really, we just trusting T. Will's game plan for the game. So whatever he wants us to do, we'll do it. And then if that means disguising the coverage, then that'll be that.
Appreciate it, guys. All the best.
Thank you.
All right, Bob, close it out.
I guess for both guys, Sam said he showed you all a lot of film of old games and stuff, some stuff from the 60s, which black and white, probably not a lot of pixels. I'm not even sure I don't think they had pixels back then, but just wondering, what was it like watching those old films, especially the ones from like 64, Ken Hatfield run the punt back 40 years ago and 69. So some of the other games, like, what was that like for you guys watching those old films?
Yeah, he showed us a couple clips. It was kind of funny because you really couldn't see it, but it was kind of great to see that Arkansas and Texas have been dueling out for that long. So that was something exciting to see.
Yeah, I'll just kind of add on. It's about like perspective. There's been a lot of people who've played in this game, and just shows how long this rivalry has gone back. It was to the point where you could barely even see it on the TV, and now we're here. I mean, 60 years, 70 years later, and this game still means the world to, Arkansas and Texas.
Fernando, I'm guessing growing up in Vegas and living and playing in San Jose, you probably didn't hear a whole lot about Texas, Arkansas. Maybe Brad heard a little bit more about it down in Houston. But do you remember the first time you got a sense, maybe it was this week, when you got a sense for Arkansas, Texas, and what it means, especially the Arkansas folks?
I think it was probably when I first saw that press conference. It was at the beginning of the year when the coach for Texas was like, talked about how Arkansas fans, love or hate Texas more than they love themselves. And that was when I first was like, wow, this is real. And so it was exciting. When I first heard that, I kind of put it into perspective. And then obviously we locked in on all the other games. And now we're here and, it feels real. You can feel the rivalry. And I'm excited to play in it and make history.
And
Yeah.
then, I'm sorry, you go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, I feel like this is a game that people in Arkansas have been anticipating. Back on what he said when Pitt was like, the Arkansas fans hate themselves, hate the Texas more than they hate themselves. So that was something that was pretty intense.
They hate themselves more than they love, or hate Texas more than they love themselves.
Yeah, right there.
And hey, Luke Haas was on earlier. I know he obviously was hurt last year, and he was I guess bad back earlier this year, but now he says he's feeling real good. He's been pretty productive. For both you guys, maybe Fernando, you could take it first, and then Brad. Just what have you seen from Luke in these games and practice, and how important is he when he's healthy and really being productive like he has been of late?
Yeah, he's just kind of that glue to the offense that puts everything together. Obviously, he was injured a little bit earlier on in the season, and just kind of getting him back to like full go these past few games, you could see, our offense just opens up so much more when he's full speed, when he's full go, and he means the world to our offense. And having him out there, he just finds a way to get open and make plays, and so it's awesome having him out there. He's great energy, he's a great leader, and it's a true blessing to have him out there.
Yeah, from what I've seen last year from Luke did, I got a glimpse of what he can do. So now that he's there for this year, he's pretty productive for our offense, and I'm glad he's on our team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Brad, I don't know if you tried to cover him some in practice or gone against up him as a blocker, but I mean, probably need to have a safety on him, I would think, or maybe that's not good enough either. But how tough do you think it is for a defender to cover Luke? And then how have you seen his blocking come along?
He's a pretty well balanced tight end. He has a great route tree to him. Me and him, we go back at it forth at practice, iron sharpens iron. And blocking wise, he stands his ground pretty good. I feel like the offense is using him well and putting him in the right positions to make plays.
Okay, guys, I appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you, Bob.
All right, guys. Thank you. We'll see you Saturday.